Hi everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I'm very good. Let's get into a little bit more about K-State's season. If the Cats can win Saturday against Colorado, they will be 6-6. That's not a losing season. That's 500. That's quite literally average, mediocrity. Okay. But when coaches say winning is hard, a lot of you kind of pull back and think, no, it isn't. Well, you do realize that half the teams that play games lose. That's how football works. One team wins, one team loses. And if you had a business in which you had 12 opportunities to be successful or lose, would you be better than 6-6? Probably, maybe, I don't know. But is winning hard? I'd say the evidence is yes. And let's drill down on that right after I remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but more importantly, right now, Black Friday sale at GoPowercat and 24/7 Sports, 75% off your subscription for the year. Go get that. $25-ish a year. Can't miss that deal. There's a lot going on in K-State sports, and we're finding the answers for our subscribers. Plus, it's going to be a fun basketball season, and our staff is all over it. 6-6, assuming K-State beats Colorado. If not, that indeed does change the context here, because 6-6 has been the goal since a really crappy start at 1-3. You see, nobody's happy about this season. Nobody's satisfied. Nobody's content with this. People want better. But the change they want might vary. Some want an all-new coaching staff. Some, I think a majority, don't. They want to see what happens. So how does Kansas State compare to other schools? When was the losing visiting each school? So who had a losing season and what year did it come up in? What was the most recent losing season of every Big 12 school, I guess is what I'm saying. Did you know that, and this is amazing to me, I was stunned by this, 13 out of the 16 members of this conference have had a losing season in either 2023 or 24. 13 out of 16 have had a losing season within the two most recent years. And Iowa State only goes back to 22. And only two schools go back to the 2000 teens. And that would be Texas Tech in 2019 with a losing record, and Kansas State in 2018, Bill Snyder's last year. And in fact, Kansas State has had two losing seasons in the last 17, counting the pandemic season. So that last year of Bill Snyder, if you don't count that 2020 season, one losing season out of 17. It's not true for any other program. Other programs, including some really good ones at BYU, Utah, you can go down the list, have struggled. Oklahoma State's fallen off the end of the pier. They were a great program, and now they're crap. So are expectations out of whack for Kansas State? No, I don't think expecting winning every season is out of the norm. No, I don't. But I think your reactions to a bad season are somewhat complicated. Some of you honestly just think it's easy. You go out there and win the games. Because Bill Snyder made it look easy, and Chris Klieman to a degree has done it too. What is good enough for Kansas State? I've seen people complain that Chris Klieman has lost 4 games every season. That's winning 2/3 of your games. By most measurements, that's okay. That's pretty good. Would it be great if Kansas State dominated the Big 12? Yeah, it would be. Do I think they could get in a position to do that? Maybe. But honestly, NIL has to increase. There has to be some donors step up for football like we've seen for basketball. And honestly, Chris Klieman might need to get more involved in that, because if you're going to give that kind of money, those donors want to hear from the coach. But the simple truth is, K-State fans have enjoyed a lot of winning. And even when the wins weren't numerous enough, it doesn't take much to look around the conference and see how badly other teams have failed recently. And I don't think we fully appreciate this. And I'm just now beginning to realize how this new world of college football with the NIL and the portal and this lack of patience from ADs and fans has really created a mess. We're seeing years of down programs at Clemson and Florida State and even Penn State. There's a lot of others. SEC and Big Ten schools, some of them, Michigan, have really struggled. It's a new world. And there's not going to be, barring some great NIL funding that sets off in Ohio State or Texas Tech or Alabama or anyone else, that sets them aside, we're going to see a lot of up and down from programs. A lot more than we did in the past. This season has sucked. Let's not try to pretend it's been anything good or satisfying. The question here is, how do you react to it? Some people want to burn it all down and start over after one losing season from Chris Klieman. I think that's an overreaction, and certainly Athletic Director Gene Taylor does too. And I got to tell you and look you in the eyes when I say, even if it wasn't one of his best friends as head coach, he would feel that way. If the coach was winning most of the games like this, having winning seasons, and running a clean program and treating the kids well, they would stick with him every time. Most times when you see a coach fired for an average record, there's something else going on. There's friction with alumni or friction with boosters and people within the department. Maybe there's a sour attitude, an elitist attitude. I've seen it all from coaches at K-State, and it goes on around all over the country. So not every coach being fired is the same, whether the expectations of the university or how they presented themselves as an employee. Everything's different. Chris Klieman has done a lot. I share your concern that starting with the Houston game in 2024, this program hasn't been the same, and I'm not sure. I'll ask about that, but I don't think Chris Klieman's going to have an answer for that because it just kind of snuck up. But he deserves another year. There's no doubt about that. He deserves to get this righted. One misstep and you want him fired. He's won a Big 12 title. He might win another. But you're right. I can hear you now. He needs to be more consistent in his winning, because even if you're going to lose 4, 5, or 6 games a season, you need to have those seasons where you lose 1 or 2. Too many losses to teams that K-State should beat. Now people are complaining there's too many losses to the best teams. Forgetting that that's kind of what Bill Snyder did. He kept leapfrogging teams going up the ladder, but he pretty much beat the teams he should and didn't with the top ones until he became the top one. But yeah, some of these losses, Army, for example, are intolerable. But they're not fireable. And that's where the real question falls. What is that threshold? Now, he won't get fired if they lose to Colorado and go 5-7, but it will be alarming. A little bit more alarming than 6-6, because you'll miss a bowl and you'll miss all of the preparation advantages you have from having a bowl game. We'll find out. Colorado K-State, 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Bill. I'm fired up for this game. I want to see how K-State reacts to that incredible performance at Utah that ended up being a loss. Did that break them or make them mad? We're going to find out. Because if this team isn't invested, fans are going to howl with a loss to Colorado.